Welcome to Growing for Good with Funding for Good. We are in North Carolina again on my front porch today, talking a little bit about grant research. It seems to be the question that has come up more and more often in conversations with nonprofits and people in my world lately. And I got another great question this week from someone, and I have some good examples that I wanted to share with you guys. And you're probably going to hear Leo bark in a minute because I think the post truck's getting ready to come back down the street. And if it does, he'll be loud, but it'll only be for a second. So I had an individual emailed me last week and wanted to know if I could find grants to support a very specific type of project at an animal rescue. It was for a cat, sort of like a cat cafe. And so there's some very specific things that are involved with that. And my initial response was, well, that's not what you would search for. As you went to do your grant research, you wouldn't search for something that specific. You would search for foundations that support animal welfare for starters, and then you would want to find the foundations that support animal welfare that specifically support feline welfare, things that have to do with anything in the cat world, and then you would narrow it down to the ones that wanted to provide that specific type of support. So maybe there are foundations that want to support feline welfare, but they only want to support TNR programs, trap, neuter, release. Maybe there are ones that want to support cats that have feline leukemia specifically, and that's their focus. So as you do your research, you want to find the organizations that support the type of work you do and then narrow it down specifically to the type of projects or programs that you have. You don't want to start with the most specific first. For example, if you were looking for your very first house and you went to your realtor and you gave them all these super crazy specific details to start with, you might not ever find that house. You might say, I need a house that is bungalow style, built in the 1920s, that had hardwood floors throughout, with 10-foot ceilings, ceiling fans, a screened-in front porch, a fenced-in backyard, that's close to a school district, and has a minimum of an acre of land. Well, if you want to find that very specific house, you might not. You might find a house that has all those things, but that has carpet that needs to be taken out, or that doesn't have a fenced-in backyard, but could be fenced in, that maybe has 0.76 acres instead of an acre, but that's still big enough for you. So there's a lot of different things that you might find that are doable for you. But if you start in that super specific thing and say, these are the only things we want, you might not ever find that house. Now, on the reverse side of that, you don't want to go to a real estate agent and say, I need a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, because that's not specific enough. So you don't want to go looking for foundations that support capital campaigns, because there's a whole bunch of them out there. You need to find folks that support your type of work, animal welfare, and then go find the animal welfare supporting foundations that also support capital campaign dollars. So I just encourage you, as you start doing grant research, that you need to know a couple of things. One, what is your area of focus? So let's say you're in health, maybe you're in mental health, and maybe within the realm of mental health, you work with people that have developmental disabilities. Maybe in the world of developmental disabilities, you work specifically with children up into the age of 18 who are autistic. So you can narrow it down as you go, but you want to start with that higher level of, we work with mental health, and then find organizations that support mental health. Within the organizations that support mental health, then you want to say who supports developmental disability type programming. And then once you find that, who works with children 18 and under. And then when you get there, who potentially works with children that may be autistic. So there's lots of different ways to break that down. You don't start with the super specific, I need every organization that supports programs that support children that are autistic, because you won't find them. You will find a few, but you won't find as many as if you start on the higher level and break it down. So I encourage you, as you go through your programming and your projects and your organization, find the needs list for your organization and start searching from there. Don't go looking for organizations just that support the type of work you do. You need to know what it is you need funded, and then start from a higher level of that and break it down. Don't start with the minutia of, we need this one specific type of thing funded. You're going to find more success with your grants as you find organizations that want to support the type of work you do, and then break it down from there. So I hope that was helpful today as you go doing your grant research. Start from a higher level, work your way down. If you have any questions about that, please type them in the box below or email us at info@fundingforgood.org, and we'll see you on another episode of Growing for Good next week. Hope you have a great week.